Welcome back. Mixed martial arts is making its way back to Fargo thanks to our guest, Mariah Prussia. She owns MPX Fitness.
And the event we're talking about is Fight to Unite, and Cameron Ramberg, one of the main event fighters, is also joining us today. Thank you, guys. So I guess first, can we start with what made you think you want to bring this back? It's been a couple years since we've had...
It's been 3 years since we've had a show for MMA, December of 2015. So we have a lot of local talent that, you know, from Fargo Moorhead to neighboring towns. So it's really time to start highlighting those fighters again, because instead of traveling, we have an opportunity. Fargo is growing, so we need to bring it back so that people understand competitive sports and then also have different events to attend.
So walk me through the name, Fight to Unite. Sounds sort of, you know, anti-theoretical. So what are you doing here?
Well, here's the thing is I've worked with the Unity program too with the Fargo Police Department. So the key thing is some of the proceeds will be going back to the Fargo Police Department from the show. But not only that, a lot of people don't understand that from a fighter's perspective, there is so much unity within your teams. And then after the fight too, you'll see so much respect because everyone knows what is going on behind the scenes from training. And whether you win or lose, the key thing is you still have respect for your opponent.
This is a real sport, and it's competitive. So, I mean, I feel like that's what you're kind of touching on. This isn't just, hey, we're going to go in there and fight. A lot of training goes into this.
Absolutely, and I think Cameron, too, can kind of touch base on some of the training that goes into it. It's not like you're taking somebody off a bar stool and throwing them into a cage, right? So we understand what all goes into it, and sometimes from the viewer's perspective, they don't necessarily understand or connect with it because it is a combative sport. However, you know, there's a lot of training, a lot of discipline that goes into it.
Cameron, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and how long have you been doing this?
From Fargo here. Graduated from West Fargo High. And I would say I was a wrestler at West Fargo, so that's kind of what got me into the sport. And 8 years later, here we're still doing it.
So what's the training like? I mean, how's it been? I mean, there's wrestling is one thing, now doing this. How's it been different? How you been training for it?
It's, you know, the wrestling makes it an easy transition, but there's so many aspects to the sport. You know, your kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, depending on, you know, there's more street-style fighters out there, so to make it up to that next level, you got to kind of be well-rounded.
How many fights will there be?
There are 9 fights on the card, so coming from Nebraska, Fargo, Bismarck, Minot, and then also Minneapolis.
Okay, and we heard that there's going to be a special guest referee and maybe announcer. Can you tell us a little bit about who you're bringing in?
You bet. UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich will be reffing the back half of the card, which is exciting because he's a legend. He really started into the UFC with fighting and getting it started. And then also, too, Mike Kendall is an announcer on Access TV, so he will be doing the ring announcing for the event. So it's a great opportunity for individuals in our community to see clearly a legend meet one, and then, too, just the experience. We're trying to really create the experience for the crowd, and then also, too, for the fighters.
So family-friendly event, and for people that have never been to a fight like this or MMA, what do you say? Here's why you have to come check it out.
Well, you know, with the growth of mixed martial arts, a lot of kids, too, are starting to get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, into kickboxing. It'd be a great way for them to see what it all entails to get into the cage. It's a growing sport. You guys, if you've noticed the last couple of years, it's really taken it to the next level, too, along with boxing. So my kids go to the events. They're 7 and 12. And it's not an act of violence. It's teaching them that this is a sport. It's an act of discipline. And there's a lot of different things that go on behind the scenes.
How do you get tickets? You can just get them at the door. Can you kind of give us the hours once again as to where you need to be to see this?
You bet. So if you come into MPX Fitness, you can come into the gym and purchase them there or online at mpxfitness.com. Also, you can walk up the day of the show to purchase. So doors open at 6, fights start at 7.
Thank you for being here. Good luck,
Awesome,
man.
thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, stay with us. Coming up, the AO1 Foundation started right here in North Dakota, but it's now expanding to Philly. We'll tell you more about that right after this.